We are live just like that. आजकल त एउटा flat मात्र हुन्छ and we go live. Anyways, assalamu alaikum guys and warm welcome to our show Metaphor Sunday. Well, Metaphor Sunday is growing. It's all about how we choose to express. So be it poems, paintings, photography, or any form of art, Metaphor Sunday it is. So me being a talkative person, I was unaware about this fact that I could express even through silence. Well, I have been learning more things and getting more knowledge, and bringing in our guest in this show is also making me learn about them as well as making me learn about myself as well. Amazing. So, as a who we have, you know it, right? Is Aayush Shrestha. चिन्नु त of course भएको छ. चिन्नु भएको छैन भने बाँकी समाचार सुन्नु भएको छ? Of course सुन्नु भएको छ होला. So he makes this news and the headlines, the topics more discourse ma ल्याउनु हुन्छ, funny पारामा ल्याउनु हुन्छ, and that is amazing about him, right? So I have known him through social media, and I've watched his shows, this Baki Samachar, even his comedy shows, and it's fun, you know, to watch him. So ma kati bolnu, right? So let's welcome him, Aayush Who.
Hello. Hello.
Hi.
I'm here. I'm live. What's up,
yes,
YouTube?
You are live. Oh, that's the charm you got. Ah, nice. I like it.
You have to address the people. It's all about the people.
Nice. So I just said at the end, let's welcome Aayush Who. So Who is this Aayush?
Yeah, like. I think you are the first person who has introduced me as Aayush Who, because like I always wanted people to do that, and and you're the first person, so thank you so much for doing that. And
pleasure.
Yeah, so that's my screen name, Bono. I use Aayush Who in Facebook, Instagram, wherever I go, and yeah, like it's sort of started as a joke because there were just too many Ayushes around. Ayush, and I even talk about this in my stand-up. Just like Ayush, धेरै नै छन् क्या, अनि identity crisis भयो क्या, मको त कुन चाहिँ Ayush हो त म आफैलाई थाहा छैन. Ayush Who, that's why Ayush Who, like जताततै Ayush, like भने मैले भन्छु नि काठमाडौँको हरेक गल्लीमा दुईटा कुकुर र तीनटा Ayush निस्किन्छ क्या. अनि आइडेन्टिटी क्राइसिस भयो आफूलाई, म चाहिँ आयुष भनेपछि को हो त आयुष भनेर. सो आई जस्ट युज माई आइडेन्टिटी क्राइसिस एज माई स्क्रिन नेम द्याट.
Wow. And I'm glad to know this story पनि, किनभने I really wanted to know you Aayush Who चाहिँ कसरी आयो, किनभने हामी पनि like मेरो टिमसँग तपाई Aayush is going to come to the show नभनिकन I said Aayush Who is going to come भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ, and my teammates be like Aayush Who, like so that was pretty fun. Tell us something more about you, Aayush ji. What do you do other than doing comedy?
Yeah, I think most people know me for doing I am a computer engineer by profession, so I work in IT the whole day. And like the whole comedy thing kind of started as a way of not getting bored after work, because you work all day and this was you just the thing is, I love my work, I love my IT job, I love programming, I love doing all that, but I love it so much that I was doing it all the time. And so I sort of needed this, you know, a change of pace, something new, something interesting. That's why I started doing comedy, just as a way of just trying something new, and it just built up to this side profession, whatever thing that's going on. अनि के छ भने मेरो एउटा लाइफको मोटो चाहिँ के छ भने never say no भन्छु के म चाहिँ, हैन. So like I'm not very meticulous about my choices, I'm not very calculating, oh यो गरे भने त्यो हुन्छ त्यो गरे भने no, let's say yes, let's do it, and त्यसपछि हेरौँला के हुन्छ. And when it's obvious that this is not going to work, I'll do something else. So कमेडीमा पनि I started doing comedy as just a time pass. Then somebody said, let's do a show. I didn't say no. Then somebody said, let's do YouTube. I didn't say no. Then somebody said something. I didn't say no. So त्यसरी चाहिँ I've been doing a lot of things. So yeah, त्यसरी नै I started this. Actually, सबभन्दा पहिला कमेडी गरिसकेपछि सबभन्दा पहिला चाहिँ I was offered to do a radio gig, Radio Nagarikमा. So I did that for a year. And I had a bunch of ideas that I wanted to do on radio, and the radio ma gareko idea lai nai I thought that this will do well in YouTube, I think bhanera ani त्यसलाई नै निकालेर I did Baki Samachar. And
Okay.
yeah, and so that went well. अनि अहिले चाहिँ I'm besides all this I'm writing short films. अलिअलि स्क्रिप्ट राइटिङहरू सिकिरहेको छु, गरिरहेको छु. I'm writing a few short films. अनि so yeah, अहिले चाहिँ त्यस्तै भइरहेछ. I'm a little all over the place.
Okay, and I like the strategy that you have, that you don't say no, you do it, and then you get the result out of it भनेर यो चाहिँ मलाई इन्ट्रेस्टिङ स्ट्राटेजी लाग्यो. Not everyone does that, तर हामीले पनि ट्राई गर्न सक्छौं. Of course, nice.
Yeah, people think too much, and when you're thinking, you're not doing. And you know, like whenever like alikati pani shadow of a doubt cha bhane pani, like what I don't like about a lot of people is that they don't do something unless they are absolutely 100% sure.
Sure.
And that limits a lot of people, I think. अनि मेरो चाहिँ के अरे अनि लाइक मेरो भने नि मन्त्र नै never say no. And I'm not saying that it's going to work. You definitely get into sticky situations, but you know, that is a funny, interesting story for later. So no harm, no foul. That this company.
Okay. अनि यो स्ट्राटेजी अब नेभर से नो ले गर्दाखेरि जुन अहिले भर्खरै भन्नुभयो, दे माइट बी यु be in a sticky situation, हैन? How do you manage that so that त्यो learning पनि अरूले सिक्यो भने maybe this strategy could work on other people as well? How do you manage that situation, sticky situation?
It's like just do something else. I mean,
okay,
like no problem is so big that you can't walk away from it. Like
wow.
It's just that like especially like I don't recommend doing this in your personal life, you know, like when it comes to family and people you love. Don't do this for that. That's a separate thing. And you definitely have to be more sensitive towards people, towards your family and your friends. But when it comes to your professional scenario, when you're about your career, about your studies, then definitely do this, because it's like यो सोसाइटीले यो प्रोफेसन करियरलाई चाहिने भन्दा बढी नै भ्यालु दिइरहेछ क्या. अनि त्यही भएर हामी रिस्क लिन डरिरहेछौँ. सो लेभल इट डाउन अनि त्यसपछि त्यसको भ्यालुलाई म्यानेज गरेर अनि जस्ट टेक रिस्क्स. आई मिन वर्स्ट केसमा के हुन्छ, यु डोन्ट गेट अ जब or you lose a business. So what? You do something else.
Oh, I like this attitude of yours. एउटा बिग्रियो भने there is always a next door that is opening, हैन? Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So मेरो बुझे के भने sorry
म
भनिहाल्छु हैन. अर्को चाहिँ मेरो फिलोसफी के हो भने, like we all have the same brain, right? हैन? So यदि कुनै मान्छेले केही गरिरहेको छ भने it makes no sense that you can't do that too, because we all have the same brain. Right? It's just like you're just not doing that right now because you're not practicing that right now, right? So you like looking at someone doing something and thinking I can never do that. That is ridiculous, because they're people too. They're humans too. They didn't fall off the sky. So if you put the same amount of work they did, then you can do the exact same thing. So त्यो भएर पनि मलाई चाहिँ यो ट्राई गरौँ त्यो ट्राई गरौँ भनेर डर चाहिँ लाग्दैन हैन. सो इभन इफ एउटा कुरा बिग्रियो भने पनि आइ एम भेरी कन्फिडेन्ट द्याट मैले चाहिँ 1 वर्ष 2 वर्ष केही अर्को प्र्याक्टिस गरेँ भने आई क्यान डु द्याट भनेर चाहिँ त्यो चाहिँ कन्फिडेन्स छ मसँग.
ब्युटिफुल थट. यो थट चाहिँ तपाईको हाम्रो एनएलपी सँग पनि म्याच भएको छ. सो कोच मी इज बेसिकली एनएलपी न्यूरो लिङ्ग्विस्टिक प्रोग्रामिङ को ट्रेनर्स हो हामी हैन. एन्ड देन हाम्रो एउटा बिलिफ छ क्या एनएलपी मा, if anyone can do it, you can do it, Bonera. So this really defines it. Amazing.
Yeah.
I'm happy that you have this kind of thought process. And yes, it indeed helps you grow better and move forward. Okay? Nice.
Hmm.
Okay,
I'm
Ayushi.
happy.
Coming back
I'm
to you.
happy that we align. Sorry.
Exactly. I'm happy too. And I'm happy to hear all this from you as well. All right. तपाईँले अघि न स्क्रिप्ट राइटिङको कुरा गर्नुभयो that you are writing script for short movies होइन. So
Hmm.
talking about script writing होइन, do you write it yourself and what are the aspects of your script writing? के त्यो एलिमेन्ट्सहरू के छ when you write a script?
Mm,
कमेडीको
I
सेन्समा है.
no, I'm not just writing comedy script अहिले चाहिँ, like
Okay.
especially screenमा चाहिँ. I'm working on a drama short film. अनि we अहिले भर्खर स्क्रिप्ट चाहिँ फाइनलाइज भयो. We still have to work on the dialogues a little. I'm not sure कहिले produce हुन्छ, but that's going on. अनि yeah, I'm writing another comedy. अनि 2-3वटा अर्को चाहिँ लेखेर राखेको छु, रिभाइज गर्न बाँकी छ. सो 3-4वटा स्क्रिप्ट चाहिँ मसँग छ अहिले, which is going to production soon. कहिले हुन्छ चाहिँ थाहा छैन, but it's जाँदै नै छ. But yeah, it's I mostly think about stories, what would be an interesting story, and how to present it. Like that's the two things that any kind of, exhibitor and any kind of art form भनौँ कि के भनौँ, exhibition भन्छु म चाहिँ होइन. We're just exhibitionist. We do something and we can't wait to show that to people so that we get the validation. But yeah, it's about thinking about stories that might make people feel something, and how can I present it in an interesting way. So त्यो तरिकाले सोचेर चाहिँ म के अरे लेखिरहेको हुन्छु. and I don't know त्यसमा के हुन्छ अब. I'm trying to learn as many things that I can. So I'm trying to learn about effective story writing techniques. I'm trying to learn about like screenplay. I'm very interested in screenplay writing, which is मलाई एकदमै interesting लागिरहेको छ. The way it's written, त्यसको format, त्यसको form, त्यसको impact on the final product. I'm very interested in that, so I'm trying to learn that a little.
Wow. सबभन्दा first best wishes with your
Thank
upcoming
you.
सबै projectsहरू that you are taking up होइन. Good luck with that. तर मलाई चाहिँ यो you are writing so many things होइन. Coming back to what I have heard, like तपाईँले अब बाँकी समाचारमा पनि you just twist and turn the facts हुन्छ नि, the news that is, and make it so amazing and brilliant. Like यसरी त मैले सोचेको थिएन भन्ने at some point of time हुन्छ के. So how do you do that? Or is it you that do it, or you have team together you do it?
First season we had 4 writers, including me and Yosina. So there were 4 writers in total, two other people working behind the scenes. Season 2 because of the lockdown we couldn't get together and write, so it was the second season चाहिँ मैले र योजनाले मात्रै लेख्यौं हैन. And it's about, it all comes from conversations नै भन्छु म चाहिँ हैन. I like बाँकी समाचार चाहिँ it was one of those things that you could not be in a locked room and then just think about and that wasn't good. That wouldn't have been good for something like Baki Samachar, because Baki Samachar was all about presenting perspectives, right? So मैले मात्रै कोठामा बसेर लेखेको भए चाहिँ it would be just one perspective, my ideologies and my beliefs being forced into whatever I say. Exactly. And I specifically didn't want that. So Baki Samacharko processमा चाहिँ it involves getting together and then talking about a news. And then like comedians are very interesting people to talk to नि त. So what केही कुरा निस्क्यो भने केही न केही फ्याक्ट, केही इन्ट्रेस्टिङ एंगल, केही इन्ट्रेस्टिङ पर्सपेक्टिभ निस्कि नै हाल्छ. अनि so the process is just get together with comedians and then start talking about what's happening, and eventually केही न केही निस्किन्छ. And then that's interesting, write that down. That's what we say on camera.
All right. Nice. I can get you. म बुझिरहेको छु यो कसरी कसरी प्रोसेस हुन्छ भनेर। अनि
उम्,
यो बाँकी समाचार त अहिले छैन। सिजन 3 कहिले आउँछ होला? Any news on that?
स्पोन्सरले पैसा दिन थालेपछि सो
Ah.
यहीँबाट हेलो स्पोन्सर्स पैसा दे दो हामी घाटामा छौँ
All right.
so
So
we're
I.
looking for sponsors and it's not that we didn't get sponsors, we didn't get
Mm,
all a few brands were interested in working with us tara you know, as with brands and corporate culture they try to dictate के गर्न मिल्छ so हाम्रो brand image like for गाह्रो पर्छ so don't talk about this, don't talk about that, and that would be if we take money from someone and we change anything about Baki Samachar, then it would be incredibly ingenuine. It could be incredibly dishonest. So we're looking for a brand to collaborate with who like who जोसँग चाहिँ हामी राम्रोसँग अलाइन हुन्छौँ and they will not try to you know change बाँकी समाचार. So त्यो पाउन चाहिँ गाह्रो
exactly.
भइरहेको हो. त्यो
Okay.
पाउने बित्तिकै will come soon.
So with this I have two question हैन मेरो दिमागमा आएको एक चाहिँ सो अहिले तपाईको टिमहरु when you are not doing बाँकी समाचार of course न्यूज त सुनिराख्नु भएको छ होला and त्यो भित्रको किरा हुन्छ नि त्यो कमेडी निस्किरा छ कि छैन and how you are managing that in between your teams, are you doing that or not? I assume you are doing it.
Actually no, interestingly no. I'm किनकि कस्तो छ भने बाँकी समाचारको कन्सेप्ट भनेको न्युजलाई इन्ट्रेस्टिङ वेमा प्रेजेन्ट गर्नु मात्रै हो एन्ड देन when we think that it's necessary हाम्रो आफ्नो ओपिनियनहरू पनि राख्छौँ. It was something that I wanted के अरे it was a conscious decision to यो फर्मेटमा लाने चाहिँ because I wanted people to listen to news अनि यत्तिकै चाहिँ बोर लागिरहेछ मान्छेहरूलाई सो लेट्स प्रेजेन्ट इट इन के अरे फनी वे भनेर एकदमै कन्सियसली डिजाइन गरिएको फर्मेट हो. अरू बेलामा when I'm watching news I don't really find it funny. अनि लाइक मलाई चाहिँ त्यो I'm like के भन्ने like I don't think about comedy when I'm looking at news and politics because like it's because of the way I am as a person because what I find funny is people general people हुन्छ नि यो ground level को मान्छेहरू their fears, their insecurities, that's what I find funny, not politics, what happens in politics because politics हेऱ्यो भने मलाई ड्रामा जस्तै लाग्छ हैन अनि it all seems so fake and त्यो मलाई इन्ट्रेस्टिङै लाग्दैन क्या अनि I don't know if I'm making it because like as a person what I find more interesting is normal people doing normal things अनि when I'm not working for बाँकी समाचार म यस्तो कुराहरू चाहिँ बढी अब्जर्भ गरेर बसिरहेको हुन्छु. सो अहिले धेरै कुरा भइरहेछ and it makes me angry sometimes, it makes me sad sometimes, but I'm not thinking about comedy. That's अलिकति weird छ त्यो चाहिँ.
Okay, indeed weird and I am amused किनभने अब बाँकी समाचारको अहिले एपिसोड्सहरु आइरा छैन नि then there's so much of news going on and I would be like telling my colleague whom I work with अनि यस्तो पो भन्थ्यो होला भनेर चाहिँ मेरो दिमागमा आउँछ क्या यो यस्तो भन्थ्यो होला भनेर चाहिँ because I have been watching अनि त्यो feeling आउँछ के sometimes. Okay, it's quite amusing अनि new to know. Okay, nice.
Like news को बारेमा कुरा गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ I like having people around because त्यही त नि मैले आफैले सोच्न धेरै थाले भने चाहिँ मेरो बायसनेस र मेरो आफ्नो आइडियोलोजीहरू चाहिँ हावी भइदिन्छ क्या अनि that's why I don't like to think about it. So I'll talk about politics and what's happening in the country when there are people around me because that way अरूको पर्सपेक्टिभ पनि मैले बुझ्छु अनि that's a more that's a better use of my time to think about politics लाग्छ मलाई चाहिँ. Listening
to your answer हैन मलाई के feel हुन्छ भने you are a person who can separate professional things, personal things, as well as the professional things पनि you can categorize and separate them जस्तो लाग्यो. You are a good
I think
manager,
so.
are you? Hmm.
I think so. I like थाहा छैन है मलाई, like I have been able to manage a lot of things. And one of the biggest question, one of the most asked question to me by a lot of people is how do you manage time to do all these things यताउति भन्ने मात्रै हो. So I don't know if I'm a good manager, but मलाई चाहिँ के लाग्छ भने like your brain sort of works in the same way होइन. अनि लाइक हाम्रो ब्रेन भने कम्प्युटर नै त हो नि होइन.
हजुर, of
अनि
course.
या इट्स प्रोसेसिङ सेम नै हुन्छ, यु जस्ट हेभ टु चेन्ज द इनपुट्स होइन. सो अनि लाइक वेन आइएम वर्किङ प्रोग्रामिङ गर्दाखेरि जुन तरिकाले मेरो ब्रेनले काम गर्छ, मैले कमेडीको बारेमा सोच्दाखेरि त्यही तरिकाले काम गर्छ, मैले स्क्रिप्ट राइटिङ लेख्दाखेरि त्यही तरिकाले काम गर्छ. इट्स जस्ट द इनपुट इज डिफरेन्ट, द्याट्स वाइ द आउटपुट इज डिफरेन्ट. And so when I'm working on script, then I'm not letting programming go input in my dimag. That's why output ma wo matra airacha. So yeah, I guess I'm good at compartmentalizing, I think. Yes. Ola, I don't know.
You have explained this part so beautifully होइन. मैले पनि धेरै कुरा सिकेँ र I think this is a good metaphorical example to everyone who is watching to know how you can separate things out, like this input र output वाला example चाहिँ मलाई एकदमै मन पर्यो, and I am relating it, though म IT background को छैन, but still I am being able to understand it clearly. Nice. So हामीले चाहिँ अघि नै तपाईँले स्पोन्सरको कुरा गर्नुभयो होइन. अनि दे आर पिपल ह्युम यु वान्ट टु पार्टनर विथ बिकज अफ कोर्स कुराहरू मिल्दैन. सो यसमा चाहिँ आई बिलिभ फ्रिडम अफ स्पिचको कुरा आउँछ होइन. वाट इज फ्रिडम अफ स्पिच टु यु?
Oh, freedom of speech is one of the most basic rights that we should get as humans. It like expression of our what we have in mind is such a big necessity in being able to live a happy life is immense. त्यो भन्दा लाइक हुन्छ नि, बिसाइड्स खान पाउनु पर्छ, राम्रोसँग बस्न पाउनु पर्छ, एन्ड देन हुन्छ नि अक्सिजन चाहिन्छ, त्यसपछिको बिगेस्ट निड फर अ ह्युमन बिङ इज टु बी एबल टु एक्सप्रेस. पिपल एक्सप्रेस नगरिकन मान्छेहरू बस्न सक्दैन, राइट? पिपल क्यान go through torture if they are able to express what they are going through. Okay? And so expression, the right being able to express what your thoughts, your ideas, your ideologies, your responses to whatever's happening in the world, that is so important for us to survive. But unfortunately people in power have understood that this is all like the expression of ideas is very dangerous for people in power. And they constantly try to undermine that right. Okay, but now it is so important. I like
I can understand you. I can understand this struggle as well.
Express governance, like why would you not let someone speak? It's almost like not giving people food. It's almost like not giving people, like not as torturous as food. Of course, food, water, it's way more important. The right to expression is right up there. Okay? And it's the essence of being humans. That's what separates us from the rest of the world. We are able to express, and being able to express, being able to share our thoughts is what made us to the human civilization that we are right now. And it's एकदमै basic human need नै हो expression भन्नेको चाहिँ. and if someone tries to undermine that, then there's no bigger villain than that person, I think.
Indeed. I agree with you in this. यदि तपाईँलाई चाहिँ भोलि चाहिँ पावर दियो भने पुरै पावर है, you are the head of this country maybe हैन, so what would you do for this freedom of speech? What changes would you bring?
Oh, I like यो क्वेसनको एन्सर, यो क्वेसनको बारेमा सोच्नु पर्यो भने चाहिँ अब एउटा मी एज अ डिसेन्ट ह्युमन बिङ को तरिकाले सोच्छु, अर्को चाहिँ मी एज अ कमेडियन पनि सोचिरहेको हुन्छ क्या।
दुईटै भर्जन सुनौँ न प्लिज, आई वुड लभ टु हियर।
Like me as a comedian, like if as thinking just as a comedian, then like I would enjoy the power. I would try to be in power as much as possible, right? But I know that's not right. I would not do that really. But the comedian in my head, because yeah, like you will get all, I will take money from everyone. I will like सबैजनाले थुनिदिने हो अनि आनन्दले मलमा बसेर खाने हो, that's a comedian in me. Like I would if I was in power, I would make a lot of stadiums, and organize sports events throughout the year, because one of the primary tools that people in power use to stay in power is distraction, okay? And sports is an amazing distractor.
Wow, I had never thought this before.
Look out, last year matrai pani, like the whole India had nothing to, India ma धेरै कुरा भयो थियो अनि इन्डियामा त्यो सुशान्त सिंह राजपूतको बारेमा धेरै नै स्क्यान्डल भयो, because people had nothing to do, so they went after his girlfriend and a lot of people for no reason whatsoever. It was so ridiculous. But IPL सुरु हुने बित्तिकै everybody is like, म्याचहरुमा भयो एकछिन.
Okay, good observation.
That is my comedian brain, like organize sports shows and stay in power forever.
Wow.
But yeah, in terms of decent human being, I don't know, like I always think about kids, the children, right? Because you're a pessimistic thought. Just like sometimes I think that people who have grown up are beyond saving. Like change फाइदा पनि छैन, they've already made up their mind. So I want to work with children. I want to teach them how important it is to speak your mind and teach them the right way to speak their mind. I want to teach children logical arguments. I want to teach them, about logical fallacies that people usually fall into. Like I like if I had power, Jenny, the first thing that I would do is I would start programs that teaches children public speaking and logical thinking and stuff like that. That's what I would do.
Wow. Interesting. You can collab with us as well later on then.
Sure. I would love to work if you have any programs that I can be a part of. I would love to do that.
Amazing. Childrenहरुको कुरा गर्नुभयो. What was your childhood like, when you were in school days? In terms of comedy, like were you the one who would crack joke all the time? त्यस्तो केही थियो कि यो recent changes हो तपाईमा आको?
My childhood was extremely normal, average. Like I do this joke on stage. It's a cliche that to say that comedians have issues, okay? Like the depressed clown of Grimaldi भन्ने कथाइ पढेको हामीले, like comedians always seem to have some kind of mental health issues, drug abuse issues and stuff like that. Except for me, I do this out of sheer talent.
Amazing.
Okay. No, but that's a joke. But yeah, my childhood was kind of average. I had a good childhood. I had no problems. My parents loved me. nobody nobody molested me or anything like that. So it was extremely average, but I was fortunate enough to be surrounded by extremely funny people.
Uh-huh.
I lived with my uncles. My uncles used to live with us, भनौँ न, एउटै family, we have a joint family.
Okay, yes.
एउटैको अनि अनि my uncles were very funny people, so त्यसको धेरै नै असर परेको छ. My friends in school were like, तिमीले सोध्यो was I the class clown? No, I was not the class clown. I was a friend of the class clown, you know.
Okay.
So that त्यसको इन्सपिरेसनहरू बढी पनि छ. uh, so yeah, I've been lucky enough to be around funny people, and सबै कुरा अलिकति लिक डाउन भएर अनि आइम this एउटा के भन्छ खिचडी चाहिँ बनेको छु म. So yeah, that's that's what I am.
A great khichdi, yes, indeed.
Yeah, but म
So,
बच्चैदेखि चाहिँ I wasn't funny, but बच्चैदेखि नै म चाहिँ अलिकति analytical. I wanted to know how things work. So when people made joke and people laughed, I would think, okay, what happened here that made people laugh? Like
okay.
that was my process. And eventually I figured out के गर्यो भने चाहिँ के हुन्छ. I'm an engineer more than a comedian.
I agree with you because हामीले चाहिँ यो again because whatever you're talking मैले चाहिँ NLP सँग जोड्न पुगिरहेको छु हैन, because NLP को कन्सेप्ट मोडलिङबाट आएको हो, and whatever you're saying at this moment is like exact example of modeling. So you
Mhm.
looked at them, you watched them carefully, you observed them, and you just took their the learning and you incorporated
Yeah,
it in
yeah,
yourself. Wow.
yeah.
You know, instead of me taking interview of Ayush Who, I am getting like mind blown with this commonness between your thoughts and NLP that I have recently used in my life, and I have learned. Wow, amazing.
Because you know, like AI and यो के अरे neural network सबै
Mhm.
ब्रेनकै मोडलमा त बनाएको हो नि त. Like whatever
Exactly.
we know about how brain works, we're trying to recreate a digital brain. That's what yeah, computer scientists are trying to do. And I have analyzed it enough to know the similarities, but everybody
Wow.
does it. Everybody learns the same way. Everybody सबैजनाले एउटै तरिकाले सिक्ने कुरा हो. एउटै अनि I just have analyzed it enough to know the commonness. And being a computer engineer, being a computer scientist myself, it helps in knowing all this.
Wow. Well, very nice to know as well. I, I see about this knowledge. How do you get this knowledge from? How do you make yourself up to date with all kind of knowledge that you have? के गर्नुहुन्छ तपाईँ?
uh, I'm not a very big reader.
Mhm.
Like I don't read a lot of books. I read a few books. That I choose my books very carefully. मैले तिमीलाई अघि पनि भनेको थिएँ, I'm not like other people. I judge a book by its cover, right?
Yes, you told that.
Yeah, I judge a book by its cover. I think that's why there are book cover designers, so that people judge it by its cover and buy it. But yeah, like I read very few books, but I make sure that what I'm reading is kind of worthwhile, and I learn from it a lot. So I'm not a very big reader. I Most of my learning happens by doing it. So
Mhm.
if I find something and that's interesting to me, uh, I try to do it myself. So that's how I learn a lot of things. Like when I started comedy, I have no idea how comedy is done. I have no idea how jokes are written. But once I promised that I will go on stage and do 5 minutes, then I have to write something. And that's how I started doing comedy. And it's the same with any other thing. So if I'm trying to uh, learn, I don't know, like AI मलाई सिक्नु छ भने चाहिँ I'll start
Uh-huh.
an AI project and then try to figure out how to navigate हुन्छ नि. So त्यसरी I learn by doing a lot, त्यो भन्छु म चाहिँ.
Okay. So comedy गर्दाखेरि पनि you need to have, of course, a lot of knowledge, right? When
Hmm.
because you are bringing so many thoughts, so many ideas into one place.
Mm, yeah, like knowing a lot helps because you can talk about anything. You can you having a lot of arsenal in your brain is definitely a huge advantage in doing comedy, because you uh, about humor ma चाहिँ there's a bunch of theories about comedy, and one of
Mm-hmm.
the biggest theories is called the incongruity theory, which says that humor comes when two unlikely concepts collide, when two things that are not supposed to be together come together. Then that's when comedy happens. uh, like I like त्यो बेला मलाई थाहा थिएन. I read about this. But the act that I did about Nepal, India, China ko political relationships, and juxtapose that with a breakup. These are two concepts that are not supposed to be together, but when you bring them together and they align, things become funny, right? So when you have a lot of ideas, lot of thoughts, lot of knowledge in your head, then these ideas start aligning up,
Uh-huh.
and then it's good for comedy.
Okay. So not. Do you think that everybody can be a comedian? If I want to be a comedian, do you think I can be? What is required?
I think everyone's a comedian.
Okay.
Don't you think so?
Um,
Like, haven't you made people laugh?
People don't laugh at my joke,
No, no,
so I
like no,
struggle.
like not when you tell a joke, but
Okay.
have you not made people laugh?
I have a lot of times.
Yes, that's what being a comic is. They say that uh, one of my favorite comedians, Jerry Seinfeld, he says that there are three levels to being a comedian. The first
Mhm.
level is everyone. It's when you make your friends and people who know you laugh, right? That's the first level of being a comedian, and everybody is that. Everyone's a comedian. Second level is when you make complete strangers laugh.
Okay.
That's the second level, and I am in the second level. And third level is when people start paying to watch your paying to be paying to laugh at your jokes, and then other people start copying you. That's level 3. And that's a long way down the road. It's just kind of an imitation of a third level of comedian, but I'm not there. But yeah, like अनि त्यही फर्स्ट एभ्री वान्स अ कमेडियन. सबैजनाले जुन लाइफमा कसै न कसैलाई हँसाएको नै छ. एभ्री वान्स फनी. आई बिलिभ द्याट ट्रुली. But getting from level 1 to level 2 is when you learn the craft of it, not the art of it. Everybody has that art, but learning the craft of it is what makes you level 2 comedian.
Uh, and to come to level 2, you just need a lot of practice, or you need a guru like you. Oh, we need a guru like you.
Mm. Like it's it एउटा मात्रै बाटो छैन. I think like you can definitely learn about the craft. You can learn about as with any kind of uh, as with any kind of literary art form, like
Mhm.
writing stories or writing poems. Some people just start writing and they figure it out आफै. They just have a knack for what works and what doesn't work. Or you can go to a school, or you can have a mentor who teaches you stuff. Like it's just free form, it's freestyle. You can do whatever you like, I think. It's like some
Right.
people figure it out themselves, some people need a little help. Just figure out what works for you.
Interesting. Trial आफै गर्ने, error आफै थाहा हुन्छ, and then you can trial and error, and
Yeah,
never say no भन्ने concept
yeah,
त
never say
छँदैछ.
no.
All right. Um, I assume you love momos a lot, right?
Yeah, what's not there to love about momos? Momos are amazing.
I mean, a person would not be a Nepali if he or she would not love momo, I guess. I know. So I have a context for you. So if
Okay.
there was no momos in this world, I know,
Mhm.
how would the world be like? If you have to share, how is this world without momos?
The, a world without momos. Like a world without esto. Um, I don't think there is a case where momos would not exist because the whole concept of cuisine or food is taking a flour base, taking and this was meat and somehow putting it inside. You know, meat or meat ki aloo. For vegetarians, it's aloo. World variko world variko cuisines is रोटी भित्र मासु अथवा आलु कसरी छिराउने. आलुको पराठा त्यही हो, समोसा त्यही हो. We have raviolis in Italy, you know, like burger भनेको त्यही हो, रोटी भित्र मासु हालेकै हो, sandwiches. So like you know, like everything is a momo. Every food we eat is basically momo भन्छु म चाहिँ. You see, like because it's just एउटा रोटी जस्तो केही छ, त्यसमा मासु भित्र छिराउनु पर्यो अनि एकैचोटि खानु पर्यो, त्यही हो नि हैन.
Concept exactly.
कन्सेप्ट त्यही हो नि हैन. सो वर्ल्ड भरिको क्विजिन भनेको मोमो. सो देयर वुड बी नो वर्ल्ड विदाउट मोमो.
This is a mind blown answer. I was expecting such kind of answer from you, literally. All right. Well, guys, if you are a momo lover, just think if the momo is just lost, China.
You know what's the best thing about momo?
What? I don't know.
The best thing about momo is 10वटा आउँछ क्या. You know, अरू खानेकुरा एउटा एउटा आउँछ नि त. स्यान्डविच मगाए एउटा मात्रै आउँछ. मोमो 10वटा आउँछ क्या. 10 चोटि खान पाइन्छ क्या. So that's the best thing about momo. And momo भनेको एकदमै momo is a communist food.
Communist food.
Yeah. प्लेटमा 10वटा आउँछ, मैले अर्डर गर्छु, सबैले खाइदिन्छन्. बर्गर चाहिँ क्यापिटलिस्ट फुड हो अमेरिकाको. एउटा मात्रै आउँछ, दुईटा हातले सम्म एक्लै खाने हो.
Interesting observation on foods as well. Okay. मोमो चाहिँ मोमो पनि मन पर्यो मलाई, बर्गर पनि मन पर्यो हैन. I think I will balance out by having both. All right. So Ayush ji, talking about तपाईँको experience when it comes to comedy, हैन, how is the graph like? How is the growth and how is the learning experience, if you have to share?
Growth and learning experience. Personal ki comedy as a whole in Nepal ki?
No. Personal.
Personal.
Your experience, yes.
Personal. Like it's like any other learning. एउटा अब पहिला सुरुमा यसरी जान्छ, अनि बिचमा गएर अलिकति प्लेटो हुन्छ, अनि यहाँ चाहिँ के गर्न थाहा हुँदैन, यहीँनिर आर्टिस्टहरू डिप्रेस हुने. अनि त्यसपछि कुनै एउटा पोइन्टमा केही कुरा क्लिक हुन्छ, अनि त्यसपछि सिधैमा फेरि अर्को लेभलमा पुग्छ. सो आइम इन द्याट एरिया आई थिङ्क हैन, where I'm a little bit plateau भइरहेछ. I don't know what I'm doing, a little bit of originality छैन कि भन्ने एउटा आइडेन्टिटी क्राइसिसहरू पनि भइरहेछ. तर I'm not worried about it. I know that this is something that takes time. किनकि सुरुमा गर्दाखेरि सबैलाई म त संसारको सबभन्दा फनी मान्छे हो, म जस्तो खतरा कमेडियन त कोही छैन, संसार मेरो फेभरेट कमेडियनको मै हो नि लाग्छ सबजनालाई सुरुमा हैन. अनि सो लाइक बिकज सुरुमा त के अरे आफूलाई के थाहा छैन त्यो पनि थाहा छैन क्या हैन. सो यति नलेज लिएर एकदमै कन्फिडेन्ट भएर बसिरहेको हुन्छौँ. अनि त्यसपछि सो त्यो बेला चाहिँ हुन्छ, अनि एउटा पोइन्टमा गइसकेपछि अलिअलि कुराहरू थाहा हुन थालिसकेपछि चाहिँ मलाई यो पनि थाहा रहन्छ, यो पनि थाहा रहन्छ भन्ने भइरहन्छ. सो इन द्याट एरिया एन्ड देन अब like the highest form of a comedian is मैले भने लेभल 1 लेभल 2 लेभल 3 कमेडियन
थ्री
भनेको
थ्री
थिएँ नि होइन
हजुर
सो के अरे कस्तो हुन्छ नि फर्स्टमा चाहिँ त्यो लेभल 3मा चाहिँ यु आर द्याट लेभल 1 पर्सन बट अन स्टेज क्या होइन लेभल 2मा युआर इमिटेटिङ अ कमेडियन if you know what I mean, right? And so
यु आर
level 1 ma you
इमिटेटिङ
level 1 ma you are with friends, you are just being yourself, right? You're just being yourself, you're just being funny, you're having fun, you are not putting on an act, right?
आई
level
गेट
2
दिस
comedians level 2 comedians are actually putting up an act. Everything is meticulous or yo you know level 3 alikati the highest level of comedians don't have to act, they are just natural on stage, right? So त्यो लेभलमा पुग्नको लागि चाहिँ अलिकति धेरै टाइम लाग्छ अनि अहिले चाहिँ त्यो एउटा एउटा फेजमा छ जहाँ चाहिँ आइएम जस्ट अ लिटल बिट लाइक आई डोन्ट लाइक एनिथिङ द्याट आई डु पनि हुन्छ अनि आई हेभ अ
ओके
लट टु लर्न बट आई अल्सो नो द्याट वाट आई निड टु डु इज प्र्याक्टिस experiment and eventually I'll reach there भन्ने पनि लागिरहेछ सो आइम इन द्याट एरिया अहिले चाहिँ
Well, I'm glad that you have so much of clarity as well because हामी सबैजना त्यो plateau वाला प्लेसमा हुँदाखेरि चाहिँ of course we all get stuck and when you say a lot of people are depressed at this point so when you have clarity that this is for time being अब चाहिँ it's what I need to is work on self भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ it makes a lot of sense and Ayush ji, you're doing great.
थ्याङ्क यू
We
सो
are
मच
all
थ्याङ्क यू
your
सो मच
fans, eh? So indeed, हुन्छ नि the things that you are doing, keep it up. Best wishes
थ्याङ्क
त
यू
छँदैछ. So
थ्याङ्क यू
तपाईँले चाहिँ अघि नै भन्नुभयो आफ्नो सेल्फको बारेमा कि ओभरअल कमेडी इन नेपाल भनेर पनि. So next question is overall कमेडी चाहिँ कता जाँदैछ नेपालमा?
I love whatever's happening right now.
Okay.
Like there's only one thing that I wish happened more, which was I wish more people came to watch stand-up comedy live rather than just waiting for like looking for things on YouTube. I wish because you see stand-up is not designed for YouTube. Okay, like YouTube is a tool to introduce more people to stand-up. Yes, it's a marketing tool, but stand-up is not designed for something like YouTube. Okay, it's not designed to be watched on a screen. Stand-up is closer to theater than anything else, and it's supposed to be experienced live. It's supposed to be a little bit like a little more personal, a little more organic, and like that's the true essence of stand up, and which is very very close to theater. So like theater, you can record a theater act and watch it on screen, but when you are there, the
Exactly.
experience is so much different. So then it's another thing, it's another dimension, and stand up is like that. And I wish that more people knew that and came to watch shows live. So that is something that's missing अहिले तर त्यो बाहेकको उसमा जुन तरिकाले स्ट्यान्डअप मात्रै होइन कमेडी इन एज अ होलमा जसरी नयाँ प्लेयरहरू आइरहेको छ, न्यू ट्यालेन्ट्सहरू आइरहेको छ, न्यू प्लेटफर्महरू भइरहेको छ, द्याट इज अमेजिङ. आई एब्सोल्युटली लभ इट. one of my motivations to do comedy is कस्तो थियो भने like I used to work all day and I needed something to do after work so that I don't get bored. And त्यो बेला चाहिँ कस्तो त्यो हुन्छ नि स्ट्यान्डअप कमेडी नेपालमा भइदियो भए म हेर्न जान्थेँ नि भनेर हुन्थ्यो. अनि त्यसपछि कोहीले नगरिसकेपछि ओके लेट्स डु आफैले भनेर द्याट वाज एन एङ्गल टु क्या. सो अहिले चाहिँ त्यो भइरहेछ. देयर आर सो मेनी अमेजिङ कमेडियन्स, देयर आर सो मेनी प्लेटफर्म्स, एन्ड like I just love whatever's happening. The only thing that I wish happened more was I wish more people came to live shows and experience it on their own.
So how can we make this possible? what are your plans to make people understand that हुन्छ it is just like you compared it with theater होइन theater art त मान्छेले त हेर्नै जान्छ of course it's not
Hmm.
something that you can watch on screen so if you're comparing it with theater art yes it is important I do understand so how do you think we can literate people about this we can tell them that this is something you need to go and watch so how are you planning to do that
By just doing my job. My job is to get on stage and make people laugh, and if I just keep doing that, then eventually people will come. I don't think there's any shortcut to it. I don't think there's any kind of uh, like if we as like if all the comedians or if all the stand-up comedians do a good job uh, pulling off an amazing stand-up show that like every month, every week, every day, then like that is the only way we can make this happen. Like we can talk about it on shows like this. We can talk about it on podcasts, but that would never convince people. Like तिनीहरू कन्भिन्स हुनेवाला छैन यसरी हामीले बोलेर like we have to put on an amazing show. That's a show so good that people would have FOMO about it. You know, so
exactly I get
that
it
I the only way is us doing a better job.
okay indeed so being ethical being like there should be some limitation right when you are doing a stand-up comedy is there
Mm.
some those sort of things being ethical or what words to use not to use is there anything in our Nepalko context ma?
Mm, मेरो उसमा चाहिँ I don't think the comedians need to have ethics, होइन तर
Hmm?
I don't think comedy should have ethics.
Okay.
कस्तो छ भने like I have certain set of beliefs,
Mm-hmm.
right? I know that यो कुरा गर्यो भने like I don't want to say these things because I know it's hurtful to people, होइन, and this I don't want to hurt these people, so I will not say these things, होइन. So it's because I have ethics, not because comedy does not comedy has ethics, होइन. If there's another person जसको ethical line is a little away from that, then I think that comedian should be able to do whatever they like, and it's up to the people to decide. Okay, I don't want to watch that person talk. I'll just watch this person, and so I think it's incredibly important for comedians to have ethics, and define your own ethics. I will not dictate what your ethics should be, uh, but I don't think कमेडी चाहिँ यस्तो हुनुपर्छ कमेडी चाहिँ त्यस्तो हुनुपर्छ भन्नु चाहिँ इट्स भेरी problematic.
Okay, nice. मेरो चाहिँ I had gone to this comedy act होइन अनि त्यहाँ चाहिँ I happened to answer and then this person I would not name the person and like it was so much offending kind of thing so I did not felt like going after that so I agree with you so one experience let's say I should not judge the whole thing but only the person who did that but again so यस्तो एक्सपिरियन्सले गर्दाखेरि पनि चाहिँ the participants जो viewers छ उनीहरूको viewership कम हुन सक्छ नि त so
yeah
so I think
so
this
यो चाहिँ यो चाहिँ it's not about the ethics of things. It's the comedian not understanding their responsibility भन्छु म चाहिँ. And then it's like they can say like their job is to make people laugh, not offend them, right? And कस्तो हुन्छ नि like it's I know what like I know exactly what you've gone through because I've seen it's a very small scene and there are a bunch of comedians who do that and I know what exactly they do when someone heckles like that. And the comedian not understanding the responsibility of being a comedian, especially when the scene is so young, होइन, अनि like not understanding the repercussion of what their act is doing to not only the show but to the scene in general. त्यो रेस्पोन्सिबिलिटी नबुझेको भएर चाहिँ त्यो भएको हो होइन. आई मिन I have a lot of offensive jokes. I have a lot of jokes that would offend you. Definitely. I know that, right? But but these are jokes. And I say it as a joke. These are not truths. These are not things that I believe. It's just that it's a structure of sentence that would give people shock, right? That's all it is. Right? But some comedians have a distorted sense of के भन्ने त्यसलाई, it's a distorted sense of um, एउटा they think that they deserve more privilege than they should, and त्यसपछि they get a bit angry, a little bit angsty, and then not understanding that responsibility towards the audience, towards comedy, towards the comedy scene is what's to like. I totally condemn what you went through. That was not the right thing to do.
No, it was not you exactly. मैले चाहिँ यो फन गर्दाखेरि there is a thin line नि त. So in person यसरी point गरेर भन्नु र in general कुनै statement भन्नु is a different thing. So त्यसरी चाहिँ ethics कसरी आउँछ, and do we have that in नेपाली comedy को त एउटा society जस्तो पनि छ कि छैन? How do you guys because you guys are a team when you are working, right?
We are a community. So? We are a community. It's very tricky to tell people not to say something or not to do something.
Exactly. I agree.
And this is the caveat of the freedom of expression wala argument pani haina. Yo thulo caveat ho. That's why I say the responsibility falls under the comedian. Not comedy in general. Like comedy matre herne bhane chahi things like these should be allowed, and because these things do happen in another community, just like places like US and in UK, where people are more tolerant about these things. They are more, they're more habitual about these things. They'll take it well, and they know that these things happen. And tara किनकि त्यहाँको स्ट्यान्डअप कल्चर पनि वर्षौं पुरानो भइसक्यो नि त. There are things like कल्चरहरू सेट भइसकेको छ. यहाँ चाहिँ कल्चर सेट भइसकेको छैन हैन. People are still getting to know what stand-up comedy is, and त्यस्तो बेलामा चाहिँ pulling off stunt like these when they know for sure that this is safe or not is incredibly irresponsible.
Well, I'm very glad to know you यसरी पनि in person यसरी भेट्दाखेरि चाहिँ I really feel that you are doing a great job, and of course तपाईको सबै यो जुन आउने स्क्रिप्ट्सहरु छ that would be mind blowing short movies हरु भनेर चाहिँ मेरो आशा छ है. And you are really mature, and your thoughts, because I was thinking that when I think of a comedy or comedian हैन त्यो अर्कै एउटा हुँदो रहेछ के दिमागमा. Drawing picture. So you are not exactly that the person I was painting. So it's really nice to know you in person, and I hope a lot of people who have seen your this side, who has not seen your this side, is amused as well. Ola.
I hope so. Maybe, I don't know. These are just I just think a lot of things, and I don't know, Kyo. Maybe nice. It's the age. I'm almost 30, so यतिको mature त हुनु पर्छ होला. I don't know.
Okay, Aayush Who, हामी चाहिँ हाम्रो कन्भर्सेसन को एन्ड तिर पनि आइसकेका छौं. So to all the people who are listening, any information or message that you want to throw out अहिले चाहिँ?
Yeah, त्यही एउटा come to shows. Unta अहिले like COVID भइराछ, and we're trying to do shows in as safely as possible. So come to our shows. Let's have fun. This is something that the comedy scene is something that we are figuring out as comedians, and the audience is trying to figure out as comedian as audience. So it's something that we need to do together. अनि यो राम्रो भयो भने चाहिँ सबैलाई फाइदा नै हुन्छ. It's more people coming out and talking about their problems. It's taking expression to, like, it's democratizing expression भन्छु. The beautiful thing about stand up comedy is that के हुन्छ नि त्यो एउटा एकदमै general average normal एक्सपिरियन्सेसहरूलाई एउटा प्लेटफर्ममा के अरे लिएर आइदिन्छ भनौँ न स्ट्यान्ड अप कमेडीले. सो द्याट्स वाट आई लभ अबाउट स्ट्यान्ड अप कमेडी, एन्ड दिस इज समथिङ द्याट we as a society, we as a country needs to figure out. I think this is good for the society as well, and it's good for me because I'll make money out of it. So come to our shows and to comedy side my, and whoever's listening, if you want to try comedy, then do it. Never say no. Or anything else, not just comedy. If you want to try, I don't know, like belly dancing, go for it. It's not a big deal.
Nice. Of course.
That's it.
I just wish you luck. अनि त्यसपछि टन्नै पैसा कमाउनुस् हैन. अनि मेरो पनि सेम कुरा छ हाम्रो दर्शकहरूलाई, प्लिज गो वाच लाइभ कमेडी, स्ट्यान्ड अप कमेडी, बिकज इट्स just like watching theater, as he says, as Aayush Who says. So be the part and have that experience of being there.
Oh yeah, and one last thing, follow me on
Yes,
Instagram,
please.
because I want to make 10,000 followers, and this much I want to get free stuff from makeup brands.
Okay.
I'm very ugly. I need makeup.
Well, Ayush ji, I have seen your Instagram stories and all, and then everyone says you are cute.
Am I? Yeah, or भनिरा हुन्छ मलाई एउटा.
I also agree.
Not everybody, but every now and then कहिले काहीँ I think 3 months मा एकजनाले मलाई क्यूट भनिरा हुन्छ. Honestly, I don't see it. I don't think this is cute. Okay. I think I do an excellent imitation of a cute person.
Okay, that's your secret weapon.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
So Aayush Who knows how to use this secret weapon of being cute, and he is cute. So guys, do follow him on Instagram. Yes, of course. So okay, Aayush ji, यति भन्दै आजको हाम्रो यो शो चाहिँ यही सकिन्छ. And it was a mind blowing talking to you, because मैले कति धेरै कुरा थाहा पाएँ, and about you as well, हैन. अनि I hope to see you live in a sense, stand up comedy मा of course म आउने छु. I hope it happens more regularly, and this COVID just goes away, just like the Momo that we talked about. Okay, I'll see you backstage. Till then, right, bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Welcome. All right, guys. It was Aayush Who in our show Metaphor Sunday, and it was brilliant talking to him. धेरै कुरा थाहा पाउनु भयो होला. Yes, shows हेर्न जानुस्, because this is how we are going to make our comedy, comedy को scene like चाहिँ growth मा नेपालमा. Let's do it. हामीले support गर्नुपर्छ, and do like, follow, subscribe us in YouTube, Coach Me Nepalलाई, as well as Aayush Whoलाई on Instagram, and make his wish come true, guys. त्यति भन्दै आजको लागि यति नै. I'll come अर्को 15 days मा with another person. Let's see who is or she is. त्यतिन्जेलको लागि bye bye. Assalamu alaikum. Have a good day.